Hello everybody, here we are to do some game dev. Games Incorporated. Today, I've got a big to-do. Up here on the top left, we've got tons of to-do items. We're going to get as much as we can done today. Should be easy. I've been doing this a while now. This is not a beginner stream. Y'all ready? All right, enough of that. Coding time. Oh, oops, it's the wrong button. Goes to the wrong place. I'll fix that real quick. Getting back to using my tools so I can increase my production value. I gotta get this thing all the way over here. Right in front of the keyboard. Right besides the keyboard. Yeah, right next to the keyboard. Close, easy to get to. Bam. It's actually better here. Just switch quickly. I'll probably best put it here. I can move my mouse. I can just... Okay, so we are going to work on the goblins a little bit, but mostly we're going to make them spawn coins when they die. We kill them. We can kill them now. They don't look like goblins because I messed up their hands. I should have them always face their hands towards the nearest player, and I could use a circle to detect if there's a player nearby. Are there players nearby? So I'll do that. That'll work out swimmingly there. So we'll get that going, and then have some fun. So let me just keep moving along because I'm looking around, seeing a bunch of empty code, not doing anything, launching the game. So the first thing I need to do, because we're just testing out the nature enemies, I need them to be, first off, this base color needs to be something that's not a color we're already using. So we'll do T1 base, left side, brown, brown, brown. So we're using red. Let's do blue. Okay, we're going to be blue now. There we go. So that's a lot easier to see the things. So right now you have a circle, and then you have a border, and then you have another circle on these bad guys here. And that orange is actually supposed to be their hand. So I'd want them to kind of face their hand at you when they're ready to attack you. And then they could attack every once in a while. You just gotta watch them, and then you're going to have bigger attack radius than them, so you should always be able to kill them. But if there's a big swarm of them, if you're a noob, you get pwned pretty easily. Okay, we got this, and you enter this area, and everything gets all confusing. Interestingly enough, that's weird. Shouldn't be having it be faded like that. Does that mean one of my colors has transparency? What color is that? Orange? Oh, that's just a trick. I tricked myself. Okay. So we'll have the Put that at the top. Okay, this is all going to start in the update loop. Okay, non-player AI behavior. He's moving back and forth. So that's that. So this is movement, and this is basic patrolling behavior. I'll have to add the state ID to control the state of the goblins, make that a little bit more obvious. We also need to, you know what? Let's just not waste any time, right? So, int entity state ID. There we go. We already have our state machine. Congratulations. Okay, next, we got the patrolling behavior. I want it to target the enemy, but when it's patrolling, it should hold its arm to the right, and when it's going to the left. And I think the easiest way is when it's moving to the right, we just have the ball move to the right, and then when it's going to the left, it moves to the left. And that'll look nice. That will really look nice. And then when they detect you, they're going to stop patrolling, and they're going to get on guard. And so that'll be the basic state machine. So, goblins pace around, and they're really stupid, so let's make that the behavior, right? So, see, I got enums here, so let's do another one. We're going to call it goblin state. And then we'll just do okay, those are my two states. You're either moving back and forth, patrolling, or you're targeting. Okay, we're going to go to create unit, and if you're a goblin, then you're going to have entity state ID equals goblin patrol. We're done. We're finished. It works. Then we do entity. I guess we want to go back to where we were. Here we go. So we're entity type goblin. Great. We're already in there. Then we're going to do another one. We're going to do if source entity state ID equals entity state goblin patrol. There we go. Patrolling behavior. It's now in there. And then we could do else if I'm just thinking. State ID equals goblin target. Great. And in there you just do nothing. So what we want to do is if you get close enough to them, you lose, or the goblin stops moving. So that would be in here. First I want to do the item position. And there's a max range on the item position, so I could just do plus equals 0.01f like every frame, and it will limit itself. Okay, so this is going left and the other one's going right. We'll take a quick look, see if their hands are moving. No, they're not. Oh, I think it's because I didn't compile earlier, so we'll try again. It is doing it, but it's just not fast enough, so we'll make it really fast. And you know what, we'll go even faster than that. We'll do 3. There we go. Okay. We are done. So now their hands kind of move so they look less stupid, which is nice. Makes it a little bit better. Next, we should do a little check. I think the fastest way to do the check is actually to iterate through all the players, but that's not totally correct because there'll be units that are not players that they will be able to bump against. So what we should do instead is have it check for anyone who is not on their team. So that means we do need to iterate through the whole squad, find the first one, not the first one, the closest one we can detect, and then use that. So that's going to be a loop. Doesn't matter which way they're patrolling, this is going to interrupt their patrol. So then we would do that, change their state, continue, and then they would go to the other branch. So we'll do this. We'll do 4. Okay, if I equals, oh, we'll use J. We got to use J. J, 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 J. If I equals J, continue. No, I'm just to do this. Continue. Okay, and then if do I have rectangle and circle collision? No. Let's check the engine level here. So we got Raylib up in here. Trap. Okay, collision max. We do not have a circle one. We'll just make a circle one. It takes 2 seconds. Okay. There we go, circle rec. So it's a vector and a float, okay. So we'll do okay, great, and then we'll call this circle rec. Okay, we got everything that we need. Except these things are saying I'm using uninitialized memory. That's weird. Yeah, because that's there. It needs to be here. Okay. We have made that function. We're going to jump back into test build, drop public. Making a ton of progress today. This is zooming along. Circle rec. Okay, looks like we've got it built, no errors, so now we can use it. So if we do I'm just going to use source entity position X, source entity position Y, And then we'll just do, let's do 10. 10's pretty big. And then we'll do rectangle. Okay. So then we want to do position of the target. I really need to get the targets like visibility, rectangle and stuff part of its entity, so I'm not just like randomly adding these things. But these are 10 by 10, so we'll just do 10, 10. And then if you're close enough, it says the goblin sees you, and that's good enough to get started. Okay, goblin sees you. What are we seeing? We seeing these guys? We don't need those guys anymore. They can leave. No more soldiers. You're gone. Okay, so goblin sees him. If a goblin sees someone, we want to change its state. To target. And then we also want to send its target entity ID. There we go. Great. Now we have target entity ID. We could do pop target entity ID. Great. So now we've got that. It's going to target you. It knows who you are. So it should stop moving and be stuck in that state. They all stop. All of them. Kind of ridiculous. So I really don't believe that circle is that big. So we're going to draw this circle. Was I doing 10? Yeah, radius of 10. There's no way. There's no way. Nowhere even close. So there's something wrong with this thing. So let's just look at it. So we've got... Is it actually a 10 by 10? But why would they all stop? There's something... Oh. No. No, that's not how that works. Let's look. So they're moving. They're moving. I get spawned in. And they stop. But that's not... There's no way that this guy's close enough. So that just doesn't make sense. You know what? Let's add another check here. If hot target is not active, we'll continue. Just in case if we're leaking something. I don't think we are, though. Interesting. Okay, so we're a goblin. Oh, why is this in here? It should be here. It's not going to change it. Okay, we're in Goblin Patrol state. We get a target. If they're the same, we continue. If they're the same team, we continue. If they're not active, we continue. So now we're here. And it says trap collision, circle wreck. Ah, okay, this is easy. So this radius here needs to be pass float. And so does the other one. There we go. Okay. All right, well, the best we can do is put a breakpoint here and see what's going on. Oh, it's turning true no matter what. So let's see, we've got minus, 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 minus. Yeah, we didn't get anything proper off of that. So collide circle wreck. I guess this is the one. Interesting. Okay, so we got a vector, valid values, valid, and valid. X, Y. These are floats. And these are floats as well. What I had done before is I casted them all to int. Because I don't plan on using half numbers anyways. But I feel like this will lead to some off by one issues at some point. Okay. So that's way too short of a small of a distance, but it works. So we're going to change that to a more reasonable number. Okay. I also think that that's still too far, but Okay. That's good. We get the start of a state machine. Target closest player. So now I've set the player. I'm going to now make their item targeting vector be pointing at the player, and then that will be, or rather the value that they're adding towards will be towards the player. So they'll always be aiming at the player once they detect the player. Detect the player. Okay. Let's go. So that would be here. We set the target. So what we were doing in here was we were adding a value to item position. So we could do the same thing. And it's just going to be a vector towards the player. Okay, this is really easy. We just need to select the source entity target entity ID. They could lose track of their target. Okay, and then I have a great little helper function that will get me a vector about the origin. So the vector 2 underscore res equals to origin, and then I think I take two vectors. So I could take the source position and the target position. There we go. Great. So that should get me what I want. It's about the origin. And then we could scale it, or normalize and then scale it. Let's just do 0.1. And then we do, oops, sorry. Is this already a vector? This is a vector. I didn't even need to do half of this stuff. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, so we're going to now add, do vector 2 add. So I didn't need to do this stuff here, so let's just not do it this way. It's more complicated. Great. And then good, that's a lot cleaner. Okay, great. Normalize has too many, so let's just open and close. So that should be this. All right, start. Okay, way too slow, and there's no boundaries. He's just moving forever. That's wrong. It's your punishment. You'll be chased by these balls forever. Kill, 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 kill. They move with him, because they're supposed to. Okay, so that gives us the distance, but we need the distance to be maxed out. How was I doing that for the players? Players item. Oh. I wasn't gradually moving it either. I was just moving it instantly. Well, if they can move it instantly, so can we. Excuse me. Yeah, we're just gonna force it to be where it needs to be. It'll be instant. Easy. Okay, they target us now. Should target closest players. That's the problem. It's not targeting the closest. So you do need to keep iterating. And you need to know the distance. So here, when we have a collision, so I need to keep track of who's closest. So let's do float distance equals. That's a lot. You know what? We'll start at -1. Okay. So here's where I should do the distance. There we go. Yo, how's it going, Dale? Oh man, that is I gotta see what that. Nice. Nice. How are you doing? Hey, Conrad. Conrad says, hello, man. Fully working on the mud tool. Yes. Can share a shot if you like. Yeah, go ahead. I'll share it on screen. Let's see here. So that's done. I've got checking all the work. No goblins. Now target you and stop moving. So now I need to spawn something when they die. Because that's what the next step is. Once you kill them, we should do some drops. It has Vim-like command entry box as well. So I can do quit and write, etc. What will this game become? This is going to be a multiplayer game. It's going to be one team versus another team. The idea is that the world expands from the center and grows bigger. So to keep it easy, the blue bases, or the left team's blue base, and then this is the wilderness here, and then this is team 2 base, and the world grows bigger, right? So as it grows bigger, this middle area grows, and so the distance between you and the enemy grows, so you spend more time in the wilderness as the game goes on. But at the beginning of the game, you are right next, you get a little bit of distance between you and the enemy base. The teams will be composed of a king, one on each side. Your goal is to kill the enemy team's king. The king is strong in his base, so he'll deal more damage. And then he's not buffed when he's in the wilderness. He's just like a little bit stronger than other units, but he's not as strong as he would be in the base. And he can control his team, and he kind of plays the main base like somewhat like an RTS. And he can send units to do stuff. So people who are not playing the king are going to be playing units, and these units can be heroes or regular units. They can pick up items, equip them. So it'll play a little bit like League of Legends or Winter Mall, a mixture of those two things. It'll be multiplayer. You can like go in the wilderness and cut trees down, mine things, go back to base, craft things. You could gather resources for your team, all that stuff. Buy items at base. It won't be like League of Legends, as in there's not going to be like crazy champions, but that's the idea for now. What I'm working on tonight is I am setting up Goblin State, which I just finished. And I'm going to have them die, and then they're going to spawn coins. You're going to be able to pick up those coins. And then I want to show your total coin count on the top of the screen. And I'll just keep on moving along like that. So I'm probably going to get through, well, at this pace, in 1 hour I got my goblin stuff done, but I might do a little bit more. All right, we got an image here from Dale. Ooh. Okay. Look at that. This is from Dale. And, or La Folie. And what I'm looking at here is, from what I can tell, this is an inspector on the right. Oh, you had ads. It's okay. I just got back. Or whenever you're ready, let me know. But I'm assuming this is the inspector on the right. Yeah, okay. This looks neat. Yep. Got it. This looks like a nice little tool. What are you using to make these really nice menus on the top? Is that just good drawing? Excuse me. All right, let me see what YouTube's saying. Just a sheer transformation. Yeah, I might do something like that. Why did you pick C instead of C++? I'm curious because I'm also trying to do something in C with Raylib. I've been an object-oriented programmer since like college, and a part of my brain hurt the entire time I was doing it, and eventually it stopped hurting, and so I've been C# for like 13, 14 years, still doing it, and I decided, you know what, let me try out C. Let me try it out without, like, you know, the whole point of C is there is no objects. Let me just see how that works, see if I can figure out stuff. Well, I did. I figured it out, and it was actually really easy, and I started realizing that this was a lot easier than what I was doing with object-oriented. So I just embraced it, and have no regrets, and I could care less about using objects at this point. So I picked C because I didn't want all the extra bulk that comes with C++ as well. When you compile with C++, you get a lot of extra things. It's a lot slower to compile than C as well. So there's just a couple random reasons. Move semantics, not even once. Oh man. I just can't. So the final straw for me was because I have like the fat books, you know what fat books I'm talking about, those big fat Strup and other C++ things. Yeah, and crap. Yeah, that's not fun. I could not stand some of the here it is. Let's just do something like priority queue, C++. It's not even priority queue, it's no, it is probably is priority queue. When I went to this website and I looked here and I was like, all right. Yeah, the STL is the worst. So I was using like some of these features like in place and push. It was fine, and then I started realizing that some of the stuff it was doing to manage memory I didn't like, and then things were starting to have spooky behavior, and I was like, what is this? And it's like, oh yeah, you're messing things up, and you can't make those assumptions you're making. But it's like, wait a second, I want those assumptions. I want my stupid thing to be written in a way where I can manipulate things. And so this was a problem. There was another thing that was a problem. I'd have to go look at my code and find it. But it just turned out that time and time again, when I would use something in the STD, it just kept, or whatever this is. But yeah, I have the STL as well. My books for C++ or C are all here. These are the ones I use. The standard library. The reference manual. I also have the Dennis Ritchie books, but I'm done with those. The only attractive function C++ has over C is namespaces. Yeah. Namespaces have their value, that's for sure. Conrad asks, one more question. How do you program a multiplayer game? I mean, you're doing it completely from scratch, or do you have some kind of program that handles multiplayer? I'm really curious about it. So it's not a program, it's a library. And I'm using ENET. And I don't know if this is official website, but it's pretty simple. It's not pretty simple. I struggled with this a lot. It's harder to use ENET if you're using a binding in a different language. Okay? It is easy to use ENET if you're using C. So if you were using like C#, this would be a pain in the butt because the way they do their code doesn't make any sense. But when you start doing it in C, it all makes sense. It's so easy in C. So this is what I use. I use ENET for the networking. C, Raylib, ENET. Those are the things I'm using. And it works. You know, like I could go and connect to the game right now. Let's see here. Okay, so I got a client up. I think I have a server already. Yeah, this is a server. Client connects. He's in there. He watches the right screen over here. And here I am. I'm there. Multiplayer. Can move around. Our states not different than each other. We both see that all the goblins are dead. Let's see. Lua. The Lua bindings are fantastic for C++. Is that what you're saying? Is there any other libraries that can handle it? Or was it the best? You know, I've used ENET so many times in so many different languages. I've done it in C++, C#, and I'm doing it now in C. And C is the easiest to do it in. I have not used many other ones. Oh, the ENET Lua bindings are good. Oh, I see now. You say the Lua bindings are fantastic. Got it. Yeah, C is probably the best language to use with ENET. So these guys are on the same team, so they can't kill each other. Okay. So I haven't written the code to where if the client disconnects, does the client drop? He doesn't drop yet. Oh, we got a nice little crash. You're not supposed to read the packet when they disconnect. So let's stop doing that. It tells me that they've disconnected. But what if they can't send that? That's the thing. I think this must just do it automatically. So to do move the peer from the client list. Rather make it inactive but keep on the list. Okay, coins. So everything in the game is going to be an entity. How many entities did I say we could have? Oh, one more question. Why not doing it on Linux? Well, I'm using CMake. So if I wanted to do it on Linux, I would only have to do a few extra things. Right now, though, I'm doing hot swapping using DLLs. So for rapid development purposes, and also I'm using Windows because my full-time job requires it and all that stuff. And it's just not, I don't need to use Linux right now. I like Linux, but I'm not, my laptop has Arch Linux, but I'm not busting that out. If I wanted to, I could go do all this in Doom Emacs and be fine. It's just not. Trying to keep it simple. Got nothing to prove here, guys. Okay, so coins. Method's called create unit, but it should just be create entity. We got an entities list. I want to see how big I made it. So that would be capacity. 5,000. 5,000. I'll fill that up quick. So I do think I need to modify the allocator that I'm using for the entities. No. If I add here a pointer and call it entity star free, and then I do there we go. I think that'll handle it. We'll roll with that for a few and see if it works the way I want it to work or not. Okay, entities, game state pointer, entities. Get it. It's gonna be a init in here. Okay. So if I set something to be dead, what I would do is I would set that thing, I would get the current next free, set this one's next free to that one, and then set the array's next free. And if there were no next frees, I would get the current length. So when we create unit, this is what I get for reading articles from Ryan. I already know how to do this. So in here, I was going to check and see if it increments, but this is wrong. By the way, this is wrong. If length is 0 and capacity is 1, no. So this is wrong. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so what I would do is first I would check game state pointer free. What is it? Next free. Game state pointer entities. Next free. If this is not null, and then we could just do something like this. else if set you here. Great. Great. Then we can do this here, and if entity does not equal null, we do this to here. That. All right. And I also don't need entity ID set to index because I'm already setting all of the entity IDs on ENET. Right here. ENET. Game ENET. I think I iterate through everything. Yes, I do that. So all the entity IDs. So I gotta check it one more time because my brain went blank for a second. Entities, capacity, client. So this, I'm calling it client, but it's entity. So that was what confused me. Ent. Great. So create unit. So what create unit does is it tries to set a new one, or it replaces an old one. If we don't have next free, then it's clear, it's good. If we do have one, then we're going to use it. So if it's not empty, entity equals next free, and then we set it and it comes back to life. Great. Now we take next free and we do next free equals entity next free, and then entity next free equals null. Okay, so let me just kind of imagine this real quick. We get in here, there's an entity who has, or sorry, there's the entities list, it has next free assigned. Then we get that entity and it has a next free. And that entity has a next free. And eventually it goes until it's there's a null at the end. When we pull it out, we get the next free on the list, which is the top one. Or no, it's the next one. And so then that next one will have a next one. And if it's null, then we're done. We're going to go get a new one. So as long as next free is not null, we're good. The assumption here is that this entity here, empty, we set to it, we set, what am I doing? Yes, this is correct, because this entity would have a next free, and then when we get that one here, he'll come around next time. Yep, great. All right, so I should be able to destroy entities and spawn them back. So what I'm going to do with right click is I'm going to have it spawn a goblin whenever I right click at the location on the map that I right clicked. That'll be the test I use with create unit. So I want it to print where spawned from free, spawned from let's do next free, spawned from increase length. Okay. Something's broken. What did I break? Left operand, entity, undeclared identifier, int star. Oh. Huh. Is this a case of this? Is it my good old friend of this? What is this? Okay. I have, I mean, I know what it is. It's this thing. I remember there being a trick on how to do this too. Welcome me, I am here. Trinsid, welcome. Welcome me, I am here. Alright, let's see. I'm going to go read a manual real quick. It'll be top tier streaming content. So we got types, and structs. Okay, I looked up on ENET and it looks really complicated and there's not a lot of, there's no real tutorials. Just what you need to know is that when you set something up, there's this thing called channel ID. You keep an eye on that. And then keep on an eye on your channel size, because if you ever go above your channel size, it won't send the packets. I'll show you real quick. I'm not going to show you it happening, but right here is it ENET host service, ENET create. This right here. If you don't, you can set this to more than 2, by the way. But if you try to use more channels than you have here and you forget that you don't have it set, you could be hunting down a magical bug forever, right? But it's this thing. Keep an eye on your channels when you do ENET host create. That took me so much time. It was really annoying. All right. I'm going to treat chat like an AI bot here. I have a struct and I want to have a pointer to a struct in my struct. I read this book millions of times. I should know how to do this, but I just haven't had to do it enough yet, so I don't know how to do it. So let me I can read it. We could have a magical answer come up in the chat. In any case, I'm just going to do it on my own if I don't get any help. 158. Yeah, I mean, by the time... I'm already done with most of my multiplayer code for now until I get to the point where I need to do some more complex things. I want a struct that has a pointer to itself, or a struct with a pointer to a struct, and it's the same type. That's what I want. Struct list, data done, incomplete here. Type is incomplete here. Type is incomplete here. Type is complete here. Okay. Let's do struct entity s. And then do struct entity t. It's not working. I wonder. I don't want to use a void pointer, but I'm getting tempted. Whatever. Okay, so we're good. And the code that I had using it, so we'll run this. Do that. Okay, great. So now let's add the right click, mouse button left. We'll do mouse button right. Okay, so I have some mouse state, mount position, GG state pointer here, mouse position X and Y. All right, and then in create unit, we want these to be new lines. And I also wanted to say the entity ID. We'll do that, game state pointer. No, not game state pointer. Crying out loud. This is down here. This is going to be entity, and then we'll do entity dot entity ID. Great. And then here we'll do the same thing. All right. So you kill a goblin. He disappears. You spawn new ones because you just love the mess it can make. Ooh, look at all this stuff. Oh, die. Just kill everything. So stupid. All right, so killing them all. I need to get rid of this thing when I'm left clicking where it keeps printing stuff. Let's just see what all my printf statements are. Dun, 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 dun. We got a lot of stuff in here. I'm just like printing useless coordinates. D, I don't know, it was F, I think. FF. Okay, so it's probably DD. DD. Pointer pass, we don't need to see that anymore. And then test build, attack triggered, yes, we don't need that anymore either. Bam, bam. Dead, 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 dead. We got an error. Okay, so this just didn't have a new line. No client ID found. No client ID found. That should be on a new line as well. Keep my logs a little bit good. I'm gonna write some sort of substitute logging thing. Is that on my list? Outline map. Menus. Write your own logs. Okay. Okay, so this is all fun and games until client joins. Alright, go kill everything. Ooh, look, they're... It's great when stuff works. They're all facing me, and I'm like the multiplayer guy. Look at that. Oh, they're all facing me here, but on the... It doesn't make any sense. Oh, it does make sense. So... There's a bug there. That's okay. We'll fix that. The servers should be the authority on that type of stuff. So I think it's a simple fix actually. Just need to not have the client be trying to take over. He doesn't own this stuff. He can make his best guess. Okay, so what we know is that we are able to add things. I want to reuse things now, so we'll get to that step in a second. Okay. How's everybody? All right, we're in a... No, we're good. Okay. All right, well, how is everybody doing? I don't see any new questions, so I'll keep on going. So when those guys die, I set the be active equals false. So let's just find that. Hit point 0. So now I want to take the game ent. I should write a helper function for this. I'm going to do this again. Just write it. Hey, jeez. Can you believe? Game. I'm not doing it. Entities. Next free. If next free does not equal null. You know what? It doesn't matter if it equals null. Who cares? If it's null, then target entity gets set to null, right? Target entity next free equals that. And then we do this gets set to target ent next free. There we go. We have it. We did it. So now we'll test it. And the way we know it works is when I add new bad guys right now. They're good. Got them. I'm going to start killing some of these. And then, oh, nothing didn't work. So I wonder why. It's probably because I didn't build the code. No, I did. Okay, so we get to 0 hit points. I say, okay, the next free is going to be this. And the next free here will be this here. So why don't I act like this matters? Just do that. Okay, so there's something wrong with the spawning code because it's just, it has no idea what it's doing. So here next free is set to null, and then we're setting next free to target entity. Coco's 2D. Coco's 2D. Fireman says Coco's 2D. Coco's 2D is a open source framework. No, I'm not using that. I am not. I'm using C, Raylib, and ENET. Hello, TMX. Welcome. Welcome back. Look at that. All right. That's pretty slick. Slam, 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 jam all these guys away. And spawn, spawn, spawn. Look at that. They're using next free. And now they're increasing the length of the thing. Ooh, I crashed something. I wonder why. Let's see. So it's a debug break. What'd we do? Okay, it stopped crashing. I don't get it. GFL win 32. So we're getting some sort of fun error here. I blame it on the Twitch stream. I've worked with Delphi. Okay, it looks like Coco's 2Ds was is fake news. No, it's fine. Okay, I'm causing a lot of crashes here. Normally I don't have crashes, so I've worked with Delphi. Let's see what Delphi is. Delphi. Yeah, Pascal. Gotta get back to my graph. Well, but being distracted. What are you doing on your graph? Let me go look and see what's going on here. NeoCities. What? What's the issue? I have no idea what the problem is. access violation. So I'm reading memory where I shouldn't. So there's something about my array here that I made where it's starting to leak. So let's see. I'm imagining it's something wrong with this. So let's just take our time and think. So we get the next free. And we say, great, thanks. Your next free is my next free. This is probably wrong. Let's write it from scratch here. Start over. So we get the next free entity. And now we want to set the next free to the entity's next free. Your void pointer. So let's just do entity underscore t star here just to deal with the spooky. Okay, and was that where we started? No, it wasn't. Okay. We're setting this one's next free to null. So let's run through that real quick. This guy's getting used. He's passing his next free on to someone else. His next free needs to be made null. We're back where we started. So then where would the memory issue be? We could let me run this again. Is Fireman, is your question related to C++? Interesting. So I get to 36. Let's try that again. See if it crashes again. I'm going to go to 50. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, so I'm not using C++, I'm using C. So, okay, so here we go. I attack, and then I kill something, and then there's an access violation there. In render. In here, so we're in. It's related to something I'm drawing, which is weird. That shouldn't be a problem. Which means I might be crashing things. Something I'm doing on the death. Okay, so jump back here. Interesting. So I'm just spawning though. GLF del poll events Windows. Why would it? You know what? I'll let it do the debug message again, and this time I'll see if there's anything that it allows to show. So the answer to your question is no. And the why is I'm using C. Alright, well, we're not crashing, so let me go kill more things. I think it's the killing things is there's something wrong with that code. So then when I spawn them again, well, it's just working and then it's not working. So I probably have some sort of memory corruption stuff, which is not hard to fix. I think I know where it is too. Wonder why these guys just move freely. Oh, if you're inside the wall. How many do I got right now? 200. All right, let's get the client to connect and see how bad this looks to them. Okay, and connect. Eric, oh, oops, I created a server. Connect, and there we are. Looking pretty good. All right, so TMX says, network graph on my NeoCities. Just want to automate more extraction of nodes and edges from Spiro's talks. I've been distracted doing 3D modeling for a streaming avatar channel. Oh yeah, I remember seeing that picture. That's pretty neat. I thought Spiro had his own diagram. It's probably what you're making. Demon Food says, what are you making? A multiplayer Winter Mall / MOBA type game that involves a world that expands as you're playing it. So the distance between you and the enemy grows over time. And right now I'm just testing out a little bit of code here for since stuff's going to die in the world, I want to be able to reuse entities easily. and not just increase my world size constantly. Or have to reallocate, actually. I don't really want to have to do that, but I can. All right, so this thing works, and then sometimes when it crosses that threshold out of nowhere, it has a crash, and it's in like GL Windows stuff, and something related to who knows what. Oh, when I hit the quit button, it does it. That's not an issue. Okay, let's try this out. 1, 2, 3, kill, 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 and kill. Kill some more. Spawn, spawn, spawn. Yeah, that looks good to me. I mean, I wouldn't even need to use a pointer. I could just use the actual entity ID as well, but next free, increasing the length. All right, well, whenever that happens again, I'll have fun looking for it. There's something I'm doing when I'm exiting the game now that's causing problems. That's a new problem. Not worried about it. It's not related to anything I'm doing. Yet. Okay. So that was fun. So now we want to make the coins. Let you pick up the coins. Did all that in preparation for that step. Okay, let's get rid of all this stuff here that I'm not writing. No team ID. 99. All right. Gold coins. Great unit. Gold coins. Great. So GM render. Bam. 3 orange balls. That's not even gold. I said it should be gold. Why is it orange? Let's make it red. Also make them a lot smaller. Okay, try again. Kill, kill, kill. Boom, we got these 3 balls here. Not correct. So, what is this? We're drawing a red circle at the item position every time. No, we're gonna do that for you and you and you, but not for everything. Bam. Bam. Okay. Ah, money. Money. Goblins turn into money. You gotta spend money to make money. There we go. That's great. Can't believe. Okay, so these need to be gold, not red. Gold. Nice little money bags. Okay. So, did I hit a button in my random spamming and accidentally hit an X? Is that what happened? I don't think so. Okay, great. So there's got to be somewhere this is happening. It says debug. I don't know. Not gonna press that. Okay. Cannot find the PDB for NTDLLPB. What? I don't know. Okay, so let's see what this is. All right, so it does want me to try that out. So Microsoft symbol server change. Okay. Load. Source not available. Thank you. Okay, I said I knew what it was. Why don't I try and find that thing? Okay. So target entity, when it dies, it says next free for that entity is whatever's on this stack here. And then we set ourselves here. Okay, nope. Not the problem. It's like a ball pit. All right, change the plans. I'm making a ball pit game. Man, this is rough. Boing. Okay, the idea is that we pick up those coins. It's a cool effect because when you attack, it's still attacking, so then it hits the coin. I wonder how much health the coin has. Maybe it just can't die. What are we at? Decent amount. Ching, 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 ching. Okay, so now, let's see, ENET. Oh, it's ENET. ENET. You stupid. ENET. Add exit. You know what? Whoops. Interesting, interesting, interesting. Interesting. Close audio device. Why are we getting a problem with close audio devices? Because I didn't open the audio device? That could be it. Because I don't have it. No, it's ENET here. We make it happen here. Why is it crashing on close audio device? Whatever. It's not important yet. Okay, so we need to create what the coins do when you touch them, not just when you attack them. So when you touch them, they should disappear, and your count of coins should increase. And then I would even go as far to say that maybe we have the units have a coin count, and that increases over time. And that would tell you how many coins pop out when they die. Maybe. For now, let's keep track of coins on the client. Player client. I don't want to do it that way. I guess I should. When we set the entity ID. No, because when the guy responds, we don't want all of his... Oh, no. That's fine. When we set the entity ID for the first time, here's not it. Okay, then we'll go to GM update. Okay, so we're iterating through all the entities and interacting with things. I only really want the players right now to get coins. So we'll do that here then. For int I is there I less than, just do okay, these are the players. Players are going to have entity IDs. So then I can use that to get okay. And with that information, I have what I need. So now I need to iterate through all the coins in the world that are active. At some point I just want to do Sweet. And then we'll do coin int be active equals false. And then we also should do if coin int be active false, continue. That should do a good amount. Ching, ching, ching. Okay. Coins, coins. Getting me coins. Heap alloc internal. Okay. $5,000. 5,000 what? Right. We alloc here. Capacity times the size of the entity. Yep. It's not an issue. Testing it on the client now. And bam. Okay, we got money everywhere. Let's verify that they are shared across. Ching, ching, ching. Okay, let's clean up this area. Bam. ENET. Calloc. We got a problem with ENET's malloc. 5,590. So the packets we're sending, are we sending too much? That doesn't make sense, but it does make sense. Let's see. So we go here, we got ENET packet create, send packet to client. What do we got here? 5,000. And then we go back and we got right here, we've got sys packet length 5,590 bytes. Why am I sending so much? So send packet to client. Which packet are we sending? Let's keep going up the stack. Send packet to client. GM update. Send packet to all the clients. And what are we sending? We are sending 133 unit updates. So let's go here. So we go to trap to client. We do the syscall. We get here, send it to client, send packet to client. We create the packet. Packet is that big. So what's the problem? Is the pointer buffer? Yes. Okay. So here I'm sending this data packet here. Let's have a look. Next time this happens, I want to have a lot more info. And it will happen again. It'll happen again very soon. Just spam a bunch of these. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm close to knowing what it is. We're sending the same packet to multiple clients, but I think the issue may be related. Okay, let's just record our packet ID for the sake of I got packet ID 0, packet ID 0, packet ID 0. We're always using packet ID 0. Of course there's going to be problems. What is this garbage? Okay, so internal packet ID is not supposed to be 0. Oh. Okay. No, that's why. That's so simple. This is supposed to go to equal to 0. And we're supposed to have val equals 0. Return. That was easy. What happened is we kept using the same buffer for every packet. Okay, we've got one more thing to do here. We shouldn't be using for each one of these. I need to be making a packet in here and sending that packet out. No, not for each one of these. So this is for all of those. Let's just increase my packet buffer to double what I have. Why is this 50? It should be this, which is my defined 50. And we're going to make this 100 now. And now we're making 200. And how big is our buffers? Ooh, that's good. We'll do the 200, but I'm pretty sure I remember now that the packet buffers, I allocated them to a certain size of 512. So what happens when we write past the end of the ENET packet buffer size, max packet size, we said 512. So now we jump back over here, 512. So of course I'm going to go past the range on this very quickly, because that packet there that's exploding is obviously, it's not that bad, but here we go. Yeah, I'm messing up the heap stack, everything. I'm basically corrupting stuff. That's good. This is a good error to catch. So my packets are too big. So I need to split it up when it's too big. And in my write packet, it doesn't check to see the data length. So what I want to do now is say if packet data length plus size in bytes is greater than 512, cry me a river. Cry me a river. There it is. And then we crash. Okay, so that's good. That's good news. So let's try that again, but we're going to do much, much less. And you know what? Why don't we print out? No, let's just go. Happens quick. Zero. It did 0 twice. 0 and 0. 0 and then 0. 199 went to 0. Went to 0 to 1. So there's a problem there already. Why did we do 0 twice? Zero and then 0 again. Does not make sense. So when we're set to 0, that doesn't make sense. I'm gonna let it just let it run for a bit. It goes around, and when we get to 199, Oh. Now that it's using the same packet 2 times in a row. Okay, good. We're not duplicating anymore. Okay, happened again. Great. So this time, so now I want to increase the packet size, which is 512 here. We're going to times it by 20. That'll get us to be having a ton, which is not what I was trying to do. I read online that you want it to be limited to 520 bytes. So now we're getting to be having a ton, and things have slowed down. Really slowed down. It's like it's something crazy happened. It only happens once. Why would this be such a problem? It didn't crash before. Ah, yeah. So what's happening is the packets are really big, and that's slowing things down. We don't need to update everything. Certain things have less to update, so we could send smaller things, less things. What the How am I like crashing now? I don't understand. Or how come it's so slow now? It wasn't this slow before. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. This is ridiculous. Is it because of... Okay, so it's probably... It's going haywire, first off. Second off, I was using one buffer. It'd be neat to see how much. Okay. hello, I asked question about one thing. And then I respond, I found answer another thing. Grug brain. Not even grug brain, it's like derp. You know what? I'm sending the packets to the server using a very specific manner. ENET flag reliable. Packets must be received by the target peer and resend attempt should be made until it is delivered. Okay, that one there is not. I don't need reliable for this. Okay, so you know what? I'm going to try to trigger this without exceeding the 8. So this is the minimum amount that would do it, but it's not. Okay, great. So what do we got here? This is perfect. This is much better. 16. What's going on here? Update. Aha. Yep. Yep. Okay. So what I need to do is if the packet is bigger than, first off, you never need to update everything at once, and you also can simulate a lot on the client side, so you don't need to update the entire server every 2 seconds. But that's not the problem. The problem is that we're sending packets that are too big. So what I could do is I could figure out the size of what I'm going to write. It looks like that's $56 to $298. It's 42. So if I did So the idea is that you just make a new packet every time it gets too big. So it's 42. So we'll just add 42. It's greater than 512. Then we say, okay, send it. Great. Send the packet. And then we do this over again. And that should send a couple packets now. And not go over the limit. So now I should have two. Are you kidding me? Okay, so did I not compile? Let's try compiling. Yeah, I didn't compile. Okay, I think I fixed it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so now I have 2 packets being sent. And then I have 3. And looky here. Great. Problem was that I was overwriting packets. Well, that's a new problem to keep an eye on. Okay, now if we jump here, game, and boom, here I am. Ching, 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 getting a bunch of coins. Works. Well, I fixed it. I was just sending too much data at once. Packet buffers max out at 512 bytes. Just crazy I got that filled up so quick, but that makes a lot of sense for what I'm putting in them. I wonder how much of this is junk. You don't need to send the entity ID, or the team ID is not important, it being active or not. Like, you only need to send if it's active or not when it matters. So that doesn't need to happen every single second. I also need to be able to build up packets that I want to send and just have it be like this big kind of packet queue thing. Then I can just process everything. It just knows what it's doing. I also don't need to be sending this stuff. I guess I do because you need to know what's going on. But I feel like attack triggered is enough. There's a lot of things I could modify to make it better. All right. I think I'm fading. So thanks for showing up, everybody. I'm going to check in what I have and log off for the night. Thanks for stopping by. I have a Discord you can join if you want to chat more. I'll link it here. If you want to check me out later, just subscribe and I'll be able to, or you'll be notified when I'm on again. All right, I'm gonna go. And if you have any questions, ask next time. All right, guys, y'all have a good one. Bye.